Hey everyone, and welcome to the course. This is Microeconomics, Rutgers University, Spring 2019 semester. I am Professor Joe Shin, and I will be the instructor for the course. This course is being administered entirely online through the Sakai website. And so I'm going to take you through all that in a minute to give you a broad overview, show you where everything is, and so forth. But before that, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. As I mentioned, I am Professor Joe Shin. I've been teaching at Rutgers for about 2 years now, but I have been teaching adjuncts at a few schools, mostly Temple University, Rutgers University, and a couple other in the area, since about 2010. That's my part-time job. Full-time, I work for the government. I am an economist with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and I've been doing that also for about 8-9 years now. So before that, I spent time with the Census Bureau, a little bit of time at Merrill Lynch, but for the most part, for the 8 years, just been those two, the government work and teaching. So as far as I administer the course, as far as I run the course, you're going to see this, that each week you have lectures, assigned readings, assignments, and so forth. So it's a very, I guess, hands-off approach is probably the best way to put it. And because of that, it's very important that if you have any questions, you make sure to ask. All right, I'll give you my email in a second, and that's the best way to get a hold of me. So with that, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the syllabus and the course as a whole. And let's get this out of here. Okay. So here we have the syllabus for the course. As I mentioned, this is Microeconomics Principles. Here's the course information. Here is my information, my contact information. Now we have my office hours Thursday from 3:45 to 5:45. The best way to get in contact with me, though, is by email, and that's professor.joe.shin@gmail.com. And the reason why is that I understand that people have very different schedules, and so if that time doesn't work for you and you want to set something up separately, just email me, let me know, and we can make it work. The information down here, you have the textbook. Now, this is important. Our book, we're going to be using my Econ Lab a lot in this course, and I'm going to show you that more in a second. And because of that, you have to have my Econ Lab. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most recent version for the book, but as far as my Econ Lab goes, there's a specific course you need to sign up for. And so you can either buy the book, and it will have the an access code for my Econ Lab, or you can buy my Econ Lab and get a ebook that comes with it. And I'll show you that in a bit. So a little bit of course information. We have our description, our learning objectives. And so again, this course is being administered entirely online. Everything you need will be in Sakai. It's also a quote-unquote self-paced course. Now, it doesn't mean that you can do what you want when you want. There are specific assignments that are due every week, specific readings, and so forth. But within that week, unless you have the different due dates, you can do them when you would like to or when works best for you. Now, as you're doing that, however, you can only view the assignments or the modules, which I'll show in a second, 1 week in advance. So when the semester starts, you'll be able to see weeks 1 and 2, but not 3 or beyond. After week 1, you'll be able to see week 3. After week 2, you'll be able to see week 4, and so on and so forth. Now, each week runs from Monday through Sunday. Most of the due dates are going to be on the Sunday of that week, although that may vary a little bit. There's a couple exceptions. The biggest one is that for the Voicethread assignments, which we will discuss, you have 2 posts to make. One's on Wednesday of the week and one's on Sunday. Here's the breakdown of the course grades and the grading scale. All right, quizzes. So pretty much every week there is going to be a quiz administered. And that quiz is going to be administered through my Econ Lab. So that means that in order to get credit for any of the quizzes, you have to be enrolled in my Econ Lab. Okay. Now, when you take the quizzes, you have to do it in one setting. This means that once you open it, if you close it, it'll automatically be graded. Now, no lates are accepted, but the lowest 2 quiz scores will be dropped at the end of the semester. In order to help with these quizzes too, I also put together some weekly homework assignments. Now, these are not graded. They're also in my Econ Lab. But the goal of them is to get you better prepared for the quizzes. So if you don't take it, it won't negatively impact you, except that it won't have you as prepared for the quizzes. We are also having weekly Voicethread discussions. Now, during most of the weeks, we're going to have a discussion. There's going to be a topic where everyone's going to go in and make a couple of posts. And so you're going to view the topic and you're going to make 2 posts. The first one, by the end of the day on Wednesday, you're to post 1 original comment. So you're going to respond directly to the question. And then you're going to come back sometime between Thursday and Sunday, listen to the post made by other students, and then directly respond to one of theirs. Now, when you do that, you can agree, disagree, expand on, whatever. Just make sure that you are being respectful if you disagree, especially. They should only be about 30 to 60 seconds, and it should be an original thought. Don't just take what somebody else did. And here's the breakdown of my grading expectations. Right. Exams. So there's 2 exams during the semester, the midterm and the final. The midterm's 30%, and the final is 40% of your grade. They are also administered in my Econ Lab, and there is going to be a 3-hour time limit. Right, so once you open it, you have 3 hours to complete it. If you have any technical issues, make sure you email me immediately. Here's the exam policy. Basically, if you miss a midterm, you need to have some written, documented excuse, and most of the time that comes down to you medically could not take it. So if that ever happens, though, just let me know. Here are the exam dates. Academic integrity, this is important. Even though this course is online, you are still expected to do your work independently. If it's discovered that you are working with other students, you as well as other students will receive 0 for the assignment, so don't do it. If you need any special accommodations, reach out to the Office of Disability Services and they'll reach out to me. And here's our calendar. So here's a schedule of everything that we have. For the most part, the weeks run from Monday through to Sunday, except there are a few exceptions. So you'll see when each week begins, the topic and chapter, what the assignments are. If there's a discussion, that's the Voicethread discussion, the quizzes, the exams, so forth. Okay. So that's the syllabus. If we go back into Sakai now, so here we have the Sakai site. Right. So on the home page, it's just going to be the basic information of the course. The video you're watching is going to be here. The assignments, these are important. If I have anything to send out to you guys, I will send them out through the assignments. Now, it should connect with your email, so make sure whatever email you have connected with this course is the one that you do check. In the course syllabus and information, you have the syllabus, which we were just looking at. My Econ Lab, the sign-up instructions. All right, so let's talk about that for a second. So here's the information on how to sign up for this specific My Econ Lab course. All right, and once you're in there, this is the actual course. Yours might look a little bit different because I have a couple extra tabs in here. But the main thing you're going to do here, well, there's a couple. You have the Pearson e-text here, which is the e-text that I was talking about. But on top of that, you're also going to have this assignments tab here. And these are going to be the assignments that are going to be coming up. Now, as I mentioned, they are only going to be available 2 weeks or 1 week in advance. And so when the course starts, you're only going to see the ones for weeks 1 and 2. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that for the quizzes, you can take a second attempt at it if you want. And then whatever your higher grade is of the two, that's the one that you will get. Voicethread. So I mentioned there's Voicethread discussions, and I'll show you one of those in a minute. But there's a little link here to just kind of walk you through how to do them. All right. If you go on the course schedule, it's basically going to be the same as from the syllabus. Okay. Now, if we go into each week, for each week there's a module that you'll see, and that's going to have everything you need for that specific week. So it's going to have the dates, the learning goals, the assigned readings, the lectures. And so if you click on the lecture folder, it's going to have the pre-recorded lectures here. Now there's a couple ways that you can view them. You can either watch it within the screen by clicking on it. It eventually comes up. There we go.
Hey everyone, so
or if you want to view it in a bigger screen, you can just click on the title and it'll open up the actual YouTube page that it's kept on.
First start talking about economics.
So if we go back here again and go back to the week. And so, sorry about that, my dog in the background. And so then we have the assignments down here. We have the homeworks, which again is ungraded. If there's a Voicethread discussion, you'll find it here. All right. So let's look at that for a second. So when we go into these discussions, this is what you're going to be seeing. And you can either play what's already been done, which I
Hey everyone, and welcome to the first
have already posted a comment within there for you guys. Now to make the comments, you're going to click on this little plus button down here and either click on the video icon to record a video or the audio one. Now I do ask that you use one of those two. You can just also call in, there's an option. There's a text option, but I really don't want you guys to use that unless you're having some real technical issues. Okay. So again, with these 30 to 60 seconds, you respond to the comments and then you come back and respond to somebody else's. Now, with responding, you can either just add a new comment, or if you click on the this little button here, the little icon here, it'll respond directly to a comment and it'll show it. But even if you don't do it that way, you can just say, hey, Mike, I'm responding to your comment and I agree with it because of so on and so forth. So that's the voice threads. If we look at week 2 for a second here, because there's no quizzes in week 1. So in week 2, we have quiz 1. You know, it says that there. It's again in my econ lab, Voicethread, and so forth. A couple other things you're going to see here. You'll see just a tab with all the lectures. So if you want to view them ahead of time, you can. Your grade book is here, and so forth. So let me bring this back up here. All right, good. So again, that's the course. I know it's a lot that I kind of threw out there, and because of that, I really want to emphasize that if you have any questions, just make sure you reach out to me. You know, shoot me an email. I'm usually pretty good getting back to them quickly. Just let me know what your problem is and what I can do to help. My biggest piece of advice with this is to make sure you keep an eye on all the assigned dates. All right. Specifically, make sure you're doing both your Voicethread assignments. All right, you have 2 every week. All right, and most weeks you have quizzes as well. So just make sure you keep on top of that. I put the deadlines in a few places, so it's hard to miss. But the way that a lot of people fall behind these classes is that they just stop looking at the assignments or forget them or whatever it is. So as long as you keep up with that, you should be fine. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. And if not, have a great semester.